pictures, and it's like,
Hi guys, welcome back to the Neighborhood Center Garage here. Welcome. You're welcome back. And there's my great friend Jamie Phillips, Access Auto Parts, his channel. Check out that Suburban.
So we worked out a deal on it. So
guys need to check his channel out, man. He's got everything your heart desires and for sale.
And to go pay that guy.
So we got 6 kittens right here. 2 different mamas. Look at that white one, albino baby. 2. Yeah.
I think the guy said it locked up.
We've had a really excellent end of the summer fold. We got more kittens than we've ever had. And it goes against all logics that we have so many, because we had a real bad run of kittens surviving. And Sam won out here. That's my Sam kitten. She's got a litter out here too. That's why she's out here by herself. Somewhere under one of those dressers is her kittens. So yesterday we embarked in a huge endeavor, and at 60 years old, I've hauled about everything under the sun. I've towed, I've junked, I've scrapped. I've done it all, guys, at 60. And just recently we had that really bad truck accident where we rolled like, 20 times. People say, oh, you didn't roll 20 times. Well, you weren't there. I was. And we rolled like 20 times. We flipped, we rolled. My wreck, I compare it to the recent wreck with the NASCAR 20 or 18 flips or 12 flips or whatever they said that was. He was going 200 miles an hour, a lot faster than I was, that's for sure. If I was going 200 miles an hour, I wouldn't be talking to you. It's a doodle bug. Anyways, we've endured some serious, crashes, and at least in my lifetime I have. And a lot of them was said that, I came within, an inch, of dying. Well, I must be like Dale Earnhardt, If I can survive that last wreck, I can survive anything. The difference between me and Dale, I know that what happened to him. So yesterday we had to move like 5 cars out of this driveway. We had to unload the trailer. We had a dryer from, actually that came from the HD truck that came from Robbie's house, and we were on our way home that day when we had the wreck, and we were going to scrap that, not that dryer, but we were going to scrap the stuff here we had that we got from Robbie, and chairs, and we were going to scrap some stuff, but the dryer was something we were going to save. So here's the battery I took out of the white tow truck. That goes back to the Charger. That goes to the 66 Charger. Someone's going to have to carry it over there and put it on the Charger. So here's my whole point of the video, guys. This is like one of the biggest loads of all that I've ever hauled on this trailer with the truck. And it doesn't look like much. It really doesn't look like, I got, nothing more than an average load, right? But there's a stove on there, and there's this heating, air-conditioned furnace from hell, guys. And this thing is a huge unit. It's monstrous. It's an air conditioner and a furnace in one that heated a great big building. And that thing's heavy, guys. And my great friend Robbie, Grove Street OG, the OG, he's a smart man, I tell you. He had this, and he got it from his work and was going to put it in at his garage. And he was going to heat his whole garage and air condition his whole garage, and it probably would have done it. The unit's about 20-something years old now. It's probably 22, 23 years old. It's probably past its prime, but when he got it, it was still in pretty good shape. So he was going to use it at his garage, and he was going to heat his garage, and he was going to cool his garage with it. And he, decided to go a different route And so he gave it to me. So I came over yesterday with my rig, with the famous white truck. Me and this truck goes we go way back together. We know we know each other so well. And I came over with my trailer, and it doesn't look like it's squatted, but I'm telling you, this has got one of the biggest loads of ever that I, as far as weight, that I've had on this rig of mine. And I call it a rig because it's got like a tractor with a trailer. Okay, that's a trailer, and that's not a tractor, but that's my tractor. That's my truck. That's my, big red. That's my, bad boy around here. Kind of like Jamie Davison's, Jamie Davis. It's weird, that car's kind of going slow. Towing, where he has his big rotator. This is my rotator. This is my all. This is my everything. This truck has done more than any other truck here. This one truck. I got some other trucks that are, bad to the bone, but this is my rock, This, excuse me, guys, I'm getting choked up here. This is everything. I mean, this truck, this thing's hauled more cars here than any other vehicle here. This is my rock. It's got the big push bumper. You don't want to mess with this truck. It'll just drive you into tomorrow. Rocky. So, huge shout out to my buddy Robbie, Grove Street OG, as affectionately known as the Great OG. Now he's affectionately known. He's and me just about surpassed the biggest load I think that we ever got was with my great friend Ron Doe before this. And me and Ron got some stuff one night from a guy, and there was like a huge cast iron, like a sewer pipe, right? And it was so large and so heavy and so long that the guy that we actually got it from said, "You guys can't get that." And I said, "What?" He said, "No." He says, "But other junk guys tried to get that sewer pipe." He says, "You guys can't get it." I said, "Well, there's a difference." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You see that man right there?" And I was pointing at Rondo. He says, "Yeah." I said, "Them other guys didn't have him." And of course, the other guys weren't me and him together as a team. It's important, guys, that you got the right people around you. They've always said that, and I've always said it, with the right person, you can do anything. Well, with the Doe man, because that's what we call him, Rondo. The Doe man and me were a force to be reckoned with when it comes to scrapping. And this was a few years back when I was actually probably not my prime, but just outside of my prime as far as lifting weights. And I was benching 255 on a flat bench, and we maxed out 275. And Ron, I don't know what he lifted at that time, but he was in pretty good shape. So we got that sewage pipe. That guy said, "You can't get it." And we got it. I'm getting all choked up again. Sorry, guys. Anyways, this really took it out of me yesterday, I'll tell you. And he threw it a rototiller too, and some wheelbarrows. Robbie really loaded me up. There's a swinging type bench. It's a rocker, yeah. It's a rocking chair, but it's a rocking bench. He threw in a rocking bench, a rocking Johnny bench. He threw in some, wheelbarrows, a rototiller, an oven. I mean, it doesn't look like it's squatting, but I'm telling you, the weight of it is basically all to the truck. And my truck don't even look like it's squatting. But I'm telling you, when you come up here and look at the front of it, that front end raised up a little bit. Yeah, she's up a little bit. I've had loads on it heavier, but it wasn't a hand loaded item. Where we basically loaded that by hand. Me and Robbie did. I picked up like heavier trucks and heavier RVs and stuff that really made the front end just rear up. But as far as hand loaded, this is one of the biggest loads of all. And I'm 60 years old and still bringing home the bacon. Yeah, so hats off to our great friend Grove Street OG on one of the biggest loads of 2023. in the record books. Right there it is, guys. So me and my great son's going to take it over, probably, maybe cash it in today. I don't really know. I'm kind of just still recovering from this last night. You know, Robbie's a smart cookie. He had this all figured out. This refrigerator is bigger than a refrigerator, heavier. This thing, air conditioning, you know, furnace monster, was sitting on a pallet, and so we backed up to it with the tailgate down. So this thing is sitting down on the ground on a pallet. I said, what's he planning on doing? And I knew it, you know. I knew what he had planned. And what he planned was he planned on lifting it up and tilting it up, getting it up, and then just kind of walking it over and plopping it on the tailgate and then chucking it in there. And it took him and me all we had to get that up in there. And it worked, his idea. He's a very smart individual. My friend, Grove Street OG, hats out to my buddy. Because we wouldn't have been able to get that oven, wasn't no big deal. You know, we picked it up, chucked it in there, you know. Rototiller wasn't no big deal. But this, I mean, look at that. How long is it? Let's just kind of just walk it off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That thing's 5 foot long. That's like as tall as a, you know, a woman, you know, or maybe a small man. It's 5 foot long. And width, it's about 3 or 4 foot wide. It's more than 3 foot, that's for sure. 3.5, 4 foot. Oh, it's a monster, guys. I mean, you can just, that's a cushion Robbie put in there. Try to say, he's a Chevy guy. He was trying to save the Chevy. Put a cushion in there so it didn't hurt the headache of it, the front of it. And there's a oven. He threw that in there too. There's an oven fan he threw in there. You don't see all this little stuff they threw in there. And he threw this in there last night. It's some kind of chair. It's metal. It's got a wood top, but it's a little piece of wood. He's something, I tell you. He's really a special friend, guys. You know, I got lucky that some of my friends are still around, like, you know, like Grove Street OG. Look at that. Now he threw it. There's a wagon wheel. There's another part of this right under there. There it is. At the bottom. I see that? Yeah, that's another part of that rototiller. He said this thing was a monster when it was running. So I don't know what we're going to do with it. I might let my son play with this. See if he wants to, tinker with it. Give him something to do. You know, he likes working with small engines. I don't know if it's, you know, really worth it, but I kind of really want to junk this bench right here. It's pretty cool. And of course, the best battery I showed him last night is right here. We brought this along in case we needed a winch, because I thought we was going to have to winch that thing up on there, but you know, with his innovated you know, moves, we're gonna say, Robbie's got the moves, man. Yeah, we put that in there. I had him, was it last summer? Beginning of the summer, yeah, beginning of the summer. I had an incident where I needed to move my toolbox from a place of business, and well, it was a monster, and it was a big Napa toolbox. I showed it all to you guys out in past videos. I'd have to come back to it to show you right now, and I'm not set up to do that. But he's the one I called, and he came over, and no one else would help me. My son did show up, but he showed up late. And we got some clucks over here, Jamie Phillips. But anyways, we got the toolbox in that trailer. Actually, we put it in my HD truck. Look at that. We got some clucks, Jamie Phillips. Look at that. Jamie's got chickens. Here's Cluck. Oh, they're running. I usually don't laugh and come at him with a camera. No, you don't bother that. You don't bother him. He's like, yeah, come on, Dad, let's get him. Nah, we leave him alone. They go around, eat. That's my male. And that's my girl right there. One of my girls. Yeah. Come here, baby. Come here. Of course, she'll come to Daddy. And she knows where her She knows where her bread is buttered at, don't you, girl? Yeah, you know Daddy loves you. I got some beautiful cats. Look at that gray cat. Yeah, he's gorgeous. I got a female too, just like him. Beautiful gray cat. This gosh, look at them eyes. God, is he gorgeous. She's a looker too. So, hats off to my friend Grove Street OG. You know, the great Rondo. I think we passed me and Rondo's up with the sewage pipe with this thing here. But that sewage pipe it took everything I had Rondo to get that sewage pipe. That guy says, you guys can't do it. Well, you don't tell me that, you know. When you tell me something I can't do, then now I gotta do it, you know. And here's the bags and bags of aluminum cans that I got from my great friend. And a blessed light too. These bicycles come from the great Rondo. These are parts bikes that don't have any tires and one of them's got handlebars, two of them's got handlebars. They're just parts bikes for my boy. Trying to put some of these bikes together that I'm getting. You know, it was a huge endeavor just to get there yesterday because I had that truck bed was loaded and all this stuff was on it because I'm scrapping all this now because the dryer's no good and I had a load of scrap on it. Well, the problem was it was backed in there and it filled up full of water, so I couldn't move it. I couldn't pick it up. I couldn't do anything with it. So the great white truck, I backed in here, hooked onto it with a winch, raised it up, and when I did, all that water ran out of it. And then I just pulled the truck out with the winch cable hooked to the trailer, and it pulled it out here. And you can still see the dampness because the water was still running. You see it's kind of dry here. Well, it's not dry there. And I pulled it out to right about here somewhere. I opened the tailgate and all the junk fell out right here. And I just chucked it over there. So my son had a place to park. And I'd have a place. We could still get through the driveway. And yeah, I was worn out before I even got the Robbie's yesterday, you know. Got this 300 Chrysler deck lid that I took out of that junk that I decided I'm going to save and put it on Facebook Marketplace and try to move some stuff. Yeah, we got some scrap going here, some still stuff ready to go out. So the price of junk went down, so we're gonna have to check the price. It's Monday morning, see what the price is on stuff. Here's my son's great Roadmaster that we have just painstakingly repaired this thing over the last 15 years, something like that, since he bought it for $1,300. That's a weird number. 1,300 bucks we bought this thing for, and I put tires on it recently, brakes, front end. I had it over at Wilson's Auto and Truck, which is Bethel Tire. We replaced the module, distributor cap, rotor button. My son done did the wires and plugs earlier. So there's a lot of stuff been done to this. I'm missing some stuff. He said, oh yeah, he said every brake line replaced from CarX. They replaced every line, and it worked out pretty good till one of them was rubbing the tailpipe. Yeah, it rubbed the tailpipe, put a hole in it, and they about killed my son. So of course, I had to take a pair of vice grips and learn that from one of my great friends, Joe Rumping, Psycho, and I clamped it off, and we limped it back to the repair shop and made them fix it. And I went over there and made sure when they ran that line that it wasn't rubbing on the tailpipe this time, and I checked all the other lines, make sure another one wasn't going to happen. They were going to kill my son from shoddy work. But the rest of them are okay, and so he's still driving that car. We love that car. 92 Roadmaster. So we got this weed eating about done out here, a little bit over there by that CUDA, and I'm done with the weed eating. So we got the 880 running, we got the Mustang running, we got the Grand Prix running, we got the Fifth Avenue, 76 Coupe de Ville, this Cornet of mine that's got a piece of trim that's driving me nuts, and the 65 Barracuda run. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more to start. So look for that, guys. That's coming up. Now today we got another video coming, and you guys are going to want to watch this video. It's the 71 Skylark versus the Mach 1. and a dirt track race out there. So check back with us in a little while and you'll see that one, guys. Too bad I didn't have another doodle bug. We'd have a doodle bug race. Check with that. Check us out on that video. I'm gonna get my son up and we're gonna make a video, and we're gonna have a little dirt track race. I've been wanting to do it for years and years, and well, we're gonna do it today. So look for that video. Mach 1 versus Skylark. 69 Mach 1 versus 71 Skylark. See you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.